I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? It is such a wonderful day. Yeah, that's right. I started with the thing. So, because we just got to get into this interview because I am loving the vibe of this young man who is on my show today. He has his own network. Okay, network. That's right. That's right. I said it. He has his own network on YouTube. I have banners here. I want to make sure that you guys know that Noble's network is on YouTube, and I want to welcome him to the show. Welcome to the show, brother man. How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good myself.
Hey,
I'm always doing good. I'm always in a good mood. It seems like. But how you doing? I'm very tapped into what you've been doing lately. Been checking up on doing my research, doing my due diligence. How you been doing today?
Blushing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, this show is not about me. It's all about you. So tell everybody who you are, what you do, and how you got started.
Definitely. So pretty much, if you go on my socials, for the bio, it'll read artist, guerrilla podcaster, an everyday real guy. And that's just really what I am. That's just, if I had to sum it up, how people make like dating profiles, they put their best attributes. That would be my three things, artist, guerrilla podcaster, and everyday real guy. And pretty much I can break down, each one of them if you want me to, I can definitely get into it. But I guess I can say for the podcasting in general, I just started doing that, last year, actually. My little anniversary was actually last month, actually. So I've been doing it for about a year and a month. And, it's been pretty good, just really trying to, get my podcast out there, grow the network more and more. I don't really have a huge viewing at this point, I will say. I always like to be, 100% transparent, honest in everything that I'm doing. But I still like to, put in the content, and anybody who show love to the podcast, always, much appreciated. So hopefully, we keep growing with opportunities like this one, like we're having here. So, that's pretty much, when I just started doing a podcasting thing.
Awesome. I love podcasting, as you can tell. Mm-hmm. I've been doing it for many years. It's like, okay, so what was it like to come and be a recording artist, right? Mm-hmm. And then go into podcasting? Was there a learning curve?
I will say I'm not going to sit here in front of you. I'm not a recording artist, I am now, but I just started getting into the studio consistently, back in March of this year. I used to be in the studio heavy back when I was like 19, 20, but then that's a whole situation there. I used to be in the studio heavy. So I have studio experience. Don't get me wrong. I've recorded music. I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a recording artist when I first started podcasting, right? Mm-hmm. So really the learning curve, it was really just, I'm not going to lie. I feel as though I researched, like you talk to somebody who I dropped out of high school, right? I dropped out at 17, right? Ever since then, I never stopped learning, though. So anything I ever was passionate in, I was very, keen to learning about it, and I went to go do the due diligence, whether that was, learning about Black people in our history, whether that was learning about music and hip hop, whether that was learning about podcasting or whatever, anything. I've always been, kind of listening to radio. I used to listen to radio since I was like 16, like Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, all of that. That was like my favorite, stuff growing up, still is now. And, pretty much a lot of the times when I was looking at those type of podcasts, I was looking at Joe Rogan, I was looking at Joe Budden, I was looking at Brilliant Idiots, Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz. I was looking at 85 South Show. I was looking at all of these people, and I'm like, I can do this, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't tell you how many times somebody tell me I need my own show. I'm a wild guy, I always say. I got my opinions of sorts. I like to come with facts, but I do got my opinions. And, I just felt as though it would be a good chance for me to just not only be an artist with music, but also have a podcast to show people another side, besides just the music.
It is it is something to step out and be a musician, but then there's something different to step out and be a person as a musician.
Mm, mm,
That's different. And
mm,
I think that I commend you for that, because that's something I always have done. And a lot of people say, oh, yeah, yeah, this and that and the other, and I'm like, look, people want to know you.
mm.
Even though you have that music, people want to know you. They want to know you. They want to
Right.
know, they want to feel like as if they're your friend.
Correct.
And I understand that you got to be careful, but at the same time, you still have to be transparent enough to say, look, this is who I am,
Right.
and I can't hide it. And I commend you for that.
I,
So let me ask you a question
I
now.
appreciate that.
Uh,
Appreciate that.
hey, anytime, anytime. So let me ask you a question, okay?
Yeah.
Being in the music industry, what is that like? I mean, because that can be crazy within itself.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel as though like once again, like I'm pretty sure you probably asking these type of questions because you deal with people usually. I've seen your interview list. I've seen the guest appearances. These people, they on much higher level than I am. Let's go ahead and keep it a beat. I'm an up and coming artist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not in the music industry, and I've never received no industry check. I paid for studio time. So it's just like you know um as far as just dealing with that, as far as trying to work with people creatively, finding beats, that's where I'm at as in my stage, in my level right now, as far as artistry in the industry, trying to actually get my foot into the door and trying to work with people, on a creative tip. That's been a challenge, but it's been a blessing too. I've got to collaborate with some people I never thought I would be collaborating with anybody really. Hooked up with a lot of people who make beats and built a lot of solid relationships. So even the studio I go to, it's always been love there. So it's a beautiful situation, but it took time, for me to get to even this level, and I'm nowhere right now. What I'm saying? But like I said, I seen your guest appearance. You just had H Town on here. I've seen what you have on. They much higher level than me. I gotta remain as humble as possible.
I don't think people understand, like, everyone is on the same plane right now,
Mm,
because there is no more record labels per se. I mean, there are,
mm,
but there aren't. Everyone is on their own. And
mm,
so just because you have a guaranteed hit back in the day, you're
mm,
platinum, multi platinum. When you come back, there is no guarantee that people will like you.
mm. That's a
And
fact.
so we're all on the same playing field. There might be something that went crazy that you just didn't realize it did, and then when it did, you just got, oh my gosh. But I kind of beg to differ that you're nobody. I beg to be, you're on the same plane as everyone that I've talked to.
I appreciate it. I like I'm I'm an intelligent guy. I like to think that I am, man. I do appreciate people's compassion. Somebody like you. You just have you're just a human. You can't help yourself. You just can't help yourself. You're just so nice. But it's just for where I'm trying to get in life. I gotta keep that. I got to keep that in me so I can know that that's real. So then once I get to that level, I can say, listen, there was a continuous struggle for me to get here. I ain't just hop on the face of earth and just, I'm in the music industry. So, I just like to keep a real realistic, point of view on where I'm at in life. That's just my case. But I do appreciate where you're coming from. You're actually absolutely right in what you're saying. I just have to keep that and be competitive. It's that
Yeah,
competitive nature that I
you
have.
got to keep that edge. Keep the
Exactly.
edge. Yeah,
Exactly.
everyone has one.
Absolutely.
Everyone has to have an edge. You want to succeed, you have to have an edge. So what is your edge, and
Mm,
and what are we going towards for your future? Because I can see
mm,
that you've got a lot on your plate right now.
mm. Well, I definitely got a lot on my plate for sure. Good and bad. Veggies and, veggies and snacks and stuff. But I like to say, where I'm going in the future, just continuing to trying to, do the podcasting, continue to try to hook up with people, and feature on podcasts and, interview other people on podcasts. I just started recently interviewing a lot of people, guest appearances on my podcast. So, growing that in that field, collaborating with people. Other than that, though, as far as the music, really, I just got to continue to be in the studio, continue to put out music. Like, I always tell people I don't even have a catalog. Like, only got 8 songs out. 8. That's right, 8 total. You know what I
It's
mean?
okay.
I just started putting out music in March, so give me some time. You know what I mean? I always tell people like, I like to give myself a gradual process. Like by the time in the winter and summertime, I'll probably be ready to put out a mixtape or something like that. But right now, I'm just trying to put out as much music as possible, and then actually go out there and perform in front of people. It's not like I haven't performed before. I
Hmm.
performed open mic before, so just continue to do that. Continue to move on in that space.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of
Appreciate
you.
you. Appreciate you.
Keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. I have been putting your YouTube up and as well as your Instagram. I want
Mm,
people to follow and support. It is wonderful when you have that network of people that support you, that are your cheerleaders, even in the bad times, even when something sucks. Hey, that was really not. I didn't like that. I
mm.
like to hear that because it's not going to make me better if you're always going, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
No
need the yes
good.
man.
Yeah, don't be the yes man.
Mm,
Even though if I get mad and I'm upset and it's my favorite song in the world, it doesn't matter.
mm,
That we need to support, and that's where I'm at. And I
mm,
appreciate you being on the show. When are you going to be putting out new music? And what's
Good
your
question.
and your podcast? I mean, you got to tell people about your podcast. I don't even know where to go.
No, definitely, definitely. Okay, so pretty much for the podcast, right? Like, podcast is Noble's Pod, hosted by me. Noble Barca, aka Tony Visions. I have a lot of AKAs, a lot of monikers. Really the content prince. A lot of things. But I like to flirt around with the AKAs a lot. But the Nobles Pod, I've been doing this, like I said, for about a year and some change. Really, I think I'm on my episode 87. I always forget the episode because sometimes I indulge in greenery pleasures, if you will. I'll keep it that at that the Tommy John. So pretty much, on my podcast, really, I call it a guerrilla podcast
Hmm.
because I don't know if you ever heard about the term guerrilla film, right? Like not gorilla in like the animal, but like gorilla with GUEIRLLA, right?
Hmm.
The guerrilla film, you can have a guerrilla film, or you can be like a kind of like a militia army, a guerrilla
Right.
army, or gang or something like that, right? But I'm kind of like using like the guerrilla filmmaking in terms of this is unauthorized content. Anything that I put out, this is how they have NC-17 or rated R. This is way worse than that. This, and it's not because it's so flagrant and it's so foul and it's just so vile. No, it's because sometimes I feel as though the truth can hurt, and I'm brutally honest. And
Mm.
then when the truth can hurt and you're brutally honest, it could come off as rated R. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel as though, the guerrilla filmmaking, I kind of talk about a lot of things, on my podcast. I feel as though a lot of people don't touch on. A lot of people, hop on these bandwagons, of all sorts, social issues, I talk about the news, I talk about entertainment, I talk about music. I talk about myself a lot, me personally, what I have going, because my life is like a whole movie in itself. I have a crazy background, just being from Atlantic City, New Jersey, currently living in Georgia myself. So, really, I have a bunch of things to talk about. I always say, we have much to, and more to talk about. Anybody that knows the Nobles Network, I gotta pause out the first part, but listen, man, it's always a conversation I like to have on my network. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much, you can find me on YouTube, Nobles Network YouTube channel. You can find me on Spotify, Nobles Pod. Find me on all podcast platforms, because I actually put it out through Anchor FM, who distributes it to all platforms. So you can find me on all podcast platforms. Nobles Pod on Nobles Network.
Awesome. 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 Yes. So we put that down there. We also have your information in the description box. You guys can go follow him on Instagram. That's 9Noble7, 9Noble7, which is the actual numbers 9Noble7. And then also he does have his YouTube on Noble's Network. There's Noble's Pod. I put down here parental guidance suggested podcast Noble's Pod. Okay. Just so that you guys know that, yeah,
Thank
this
you.
is, you put your kids to bed first. You know how that goes, right? I mean,
Absolutely. I have it
okay.
18. You can't even watch my videos on YouTube if you're not 18 or over.
Oh,
You
well,
know,
great.
You know,
Great.
I make sure it's all restricted.
Right. Restricted. Great. Great. Awesome. And then you also are on Spotify and all other podcasting platforms. I want to
Absolutely.
thank you so much. You have so much information,
Mm,
and you're so I love it when people tell me, oh, I dropped out of high school,
mm,
and
mm.
it's like I dropped out of college because I just saw that this was going in the same direction as high school, and I did not want to go in that
Right,
direction anymore. And
right.
so, what I'm saying is there's so many different millionaires, there's so many different
Mm,
successful people out there that didn't finish school. Who cares? What I'm
definitely.
looking at is that knowledge that you have, you can mentor someone else. So if you had one moment
Mm,
to tell someone something, what would that one thing be?
mm. If I, ooh, this is, Woo. You just put me on the hot seat. You just put me on the hot seat. Oh my goodness. Okay. 'Cause, I have a segment, a part of my show. I have a question of the day. Sometimes, I get in these deep questions, but man, that's a deep question. Wow. Nobody's ever asked me that. If I had to tell somebody something, what would I tell them? I don't know if it'd be just one thing. That's tough. I
You
would
got
tell
you
them.
got 30 seconds to tell them before they get on a plane or a train or they jump in a car. What would you tell them? You have their undivided attention for the next 30 seconds. What would you tell them?
I would say believe in yourself. That's what I would say. Believe in yourself. It sounds really cliche, but if you don't believe in yourself in anything that you do, it literally will not work. That's an actual fact. That's not a law of physics. That's not science. That's not religion. That is just, 1, 2 Snapple fact right there. That's just, if you don't believe in yourself in anything, if you don't believe that you're going to run faster and you do track, you're never going to run faster. You simply don't believe that you can run faster. These things are just how the human brain works. I feel as though, but that's what I tell that person: believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Wonderful. I have to type that down. I have to because that is such a big thing.
Mm,
Believe in yourself.
definitely.
Definitely something you have to do is to believe in yourself. I mean, because no one else will. Mom doesn't count, guys.
And
Mom
thank you.
always loves you. And dad, he doesn't count either because he's always going, "Nyah, nyah, nyah." No,
Absolutely.
you have to believe in yourself because ultimately you're only going to be spending a certain amount of time with your parents. And then
Mm,
after that, the rest of your life is going to be with you.
hmm.
So, yeah, definitely amazing. Yes, I agree. So, man, thank you so much, Noble, for being on the show. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Definitely. I appreciate you for even giving me this time. Just how we connected on a platform. It's really been a blessing. So I do appreciate you. I know you probably got a million things to do. Like you said, you got band lessons, band practice. Much blessing. I'm definitely gonna check out your band as well.
Awesome.
Like I said, I was listening to you, sing. You got a beautiful voice. Probably
Thank
just
you.
runs in the family, I assume. So I would say I'm definitely all the way tapped in. Y'all go show love to her as well, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And y'all gonna show love to Noble now. Don't be like showing all the love to me and not him. Because I'm not gonna I'm gonna reject you. Just saying.
Definitely, definitely,
All
definitely.
right, then, Noble. Thank you so much for being on the show. And you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I don't take it for granted. And I don't think Noble does too, either, because we both have podcasts. We both run in this, you know what I mean? We're both there for you and for you alone.
Mm,
You are the reason we're here, our
mm,
listeners, our fans. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Noble's podcast.
mm,
And don't forget to dare to be different and believe in yourself. Until
definitely.
next time, guys. Bye. Noble, don't go anywhere because we got a minute. Because, that's just how this works. You guys, sorry. Bye.